The first time I saw her, she had a plasma blade pressed against my throat. It hummed with a quiet, deadly vibration, casting a pale blue glow across the walls of my cramped workshop. I could smell ozone in the air, sharp and metallic, like a storm waiting to break. Outside, the city of Virex, 9 never slept. Hover traffic streaked past my window in blurred ribbons of light, and the distant thrum of orbital engines pulsed through the night. But inside my shop, everything was still. "Don't move," she said. Her voice wasn't loud, but it carried an authority that made my muscles lock in place. I raised my hand slowly, careful not to brush the blade. "I wasn't planning to," I replied, my tone steady despite the pounding in my chest. She studied me. Her eyes, silver, almost reflective, narrowed slightly, as if trying to decide whether I was brave or just stupid. "You're Kale Rin," she said. "Cybernetic engineer. Black market modifications. Known for working outside planetary law." "I prefer independent," I said. "And you are?" The blade pressed closer. "You don't ask questions." I smiled faintly. "You broke into my shop and put a weapon to my neck. I think I've earned at least one question." For a moment, I thought she might actually kill me. Then, slowly, she pulled the blade back, but didn't deactivate it. "I am Lyra," she said. "And you're going to help me." "People usually start with please," I said. Her lips tightened. "If you don't, you'll be dead in 10 seconds. There it was. The threat. Clear. Direct. Final. Most people, when faced with that kind of ultimatum, would panic, beg, stall, try to escape. I did something else. I laughed. It wasn't loud or mocking, just a quiet, genuine chuckle. And that's when everything changed. Lyra blinked, clearly caught off guard. "You think this is funny?" she asked. "No," I said, lowering my hand slightly. "I think it's predictable." Her grip on the blade shifted. "Explain." "Everyone who comes in here with a weapon says the same thing," I replied. "Help me or die." It's not exactly original. Her expression hardened again, but there was a flicker of curiosity now. "And yet," she said, "you're still alive." "Because I'm useful," I said. "Not because you threaten me." I took a careful step back, putting a few inches of space between my throat and her blade. "If you really wanted me dead, I'd already be dead," I continued. "Which means you need me. And if you need me, then threatening me is the worst way to get what you want." Silence filled the room. The blade's hum seemed louder now. Then, slowly, she powered it down. The blue glow vanished, and with it, the immediate tension, but not the danger. "You're either very brave," she said, "or very foolish." "Both," I admitted. "It depends on the day." She studied me again, longer this time. I could almost see the calculations happening behind those silver eyes.
"Fine," she said at last.
"No more threats." "Good," I said. "Now we can talk like civilized criminals." She told me her story in fragments. Lyra wasn't from Virex 9. She came from the outer colonies, places where law was more of a suggestion than a reality. She had been part of an elite unit, something between a soldier and an assassin, trained for missions that never officially existed. But something had gone wrong. "They turned on us," she said, her voice flat. "My entire unit, wiped out in a single operation." "And you survived," I said. "Barely." She pulled back the sleeve of her arm. What I saw made me suck in a breath. Her arm wasn't fully organic anymore. Beneath torn skin and makeshift wrappings, I could see fragments of advanced cybernetics, far beyond anything sold on the black market. But they were damaged, flickering, failing. "They implanted experimental tech," she said. "Enhanced reflexes, neural acceleration, adaptive combat systems." "Impressive," I murmured. And dangerous. It's killing me, she said simply. That got my full attention. I moved closer, examining the exposed components. The circuitry was intricate, almost alien in design, but I could already see the problem. They didn't finish the integration, I said. Your body's rejecting it. I know, she said. That's why I'm here. And you think I can fix it? I know you can. I glanced up at her. That's a lot of confidence for someone who started this conversation with a death threat. Her expression didn't change. I didn't have time for anything else. Fair enough, I said. But if I'm going to help you, we need to do this properly. And what does that mean? It means trust, I said. Or at least something close to it. She hesitated. I don't trust anyone, she said. Then you're going to have a problem, I replied. Because fixing this, I gestured to her arm, requires you to sit still while I literally rewire your nervous system. Another silence. Longer this time. Finally, she nodded.
Fine, she said.
I'll trust you. Good, I said. Because if you move at the wrong moment, you might die. She almost smiled at that. The procedure took hours. I worked carefully, methodically, shutting out everything except the task in front of me. The cybernetics were unlike anything I'd seen before, adaptive systems that seemed to respond to her thoughts in real time. It was brilliant and terrifying. They built you to be a weapon, I said at one point. I know, she replied. But they didn't finish the job, I continued. They left you unstable. Can you fix it? She asked. I paused. Yes, I said. But there's a catch. There's always a catch. This tech, I hesitated. It's not just hardware. It's learning, evolving. If I stabilize it, it won't just stop killing you. It'll keep growing. Her eyes opened slightly. What does that mean? It means you won't just be enhanced, I said. You'll be something else. She was quiet for a long moment. Will I survive? She asked. Yes. Then do it. I nodded. All right, I said. But after this, there's no going back. I don't want to go back, she said. When it was over, she lay still on the table, breathing slowly. For a moment, I wasn't sure if it had worked. Then her eyes opened. And I knew. The silver in her gaze was brighter now, alive with something new. How do you feel? I asked. She sat up slowly, flexing her fingers. Different, she said. Clearer. She looked at her arm. The damaged cybernetics were gone, replaced by something seamless, something that looked almost natural. You did it, she said. I told you I would. She stood, testing her balance. Every movement was precise, controlled. Perfect. Thank you, she said. The words seemed strange coming from her. You're welcome, I replied. There was a pause. Then she reached for her weapon. My muscles tensed instinctively, but instead of pointing it at me, she powered it down and clipped it to her side. I won't need this, she said. I raised an eyebrow. That's a first. She looked at me, her expression unreadable. When I came here, she said, I was prepared to kill you. I figured. But you didn't respond the way I expected, she continued. You didn't beg. You didn't fight. You talked. I shrugged. Seemed like the smarter option. It was, she said. You changed the outcome. I smiled faintly. That's kind of my thing. We stood there for a moment, the tension finally fading. So what now? I asked. She turned toward the door, then paused. I was going to leave, she said. Disappear. Start over. And now? She looked back at me. Now I'm not sure. I crossed my arms. You're welcome to stay. I could use the help. She tilted her head slightly. You're serious? Why not? I said. You've got skills. I've got a shop. Seems like a good combination. And you trust me? I smiled. No, I said. But I think I could. For a moment, she said nothing. Then slowly she nodded. All right, she said. I'll stay. Weeks passed, then months. Lyra became a constant presence in the shop. At first, she was distant, focused only on survival. But gradually, she changed. She laughed more, asked questions, even argued with me over design choices. You're overcomplicating it, she said one day, watching me work on a neural interface. And you're underestimating it, I shot back. She smirked. Or maybe I just think faster than you now. Careful, I said. I can still unplug you. She laughed, a real laugh this time. And in that moment, I realized something. She wasn't just surviving anymore. She was living. One night, as the city lights flickered outside, she turned to me. Why did you help me? She asked. I looked up from my work. Because you needed it, I said.
No, she said.
That's not enough. I sighed, setting my tools aside. All right, I said. Because I saw something in you. What? Choice, I said. You came in here ready to kill me, but you didn't. You listened. She was quiet. That reply you gave me, she said slowly. When I threatened you. You mean when I laughed? Yes. She nodded. That changed everything, she said. I smiled. Yeah, I said. Funny how that works.
Ending.
Years later, people would talk about Lyra and me, about the engineer and the warrior who built something new in the shadows of Virex 9. Some said we were dangerous. Others said we were necessary. But the truth was simpler. We were just two people who met at the edge of a blade and chose a different path. And all it took was the right reply at the right moment.